demons, political unrest, and words that I struggle to pronounce. Povonki. 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 I don't know if I'm saying this right. The Thaumaturge has it all. The Thaumaturge is an interesting investigation isometric RPG set in the early 1900s in Warsaw during the Russian Empire's reign under Tsar Nicholas II. You play as Viktor Shultsky, a Thaumaturge, which is a kind of mystic or mage that can both utilize and see Salutors, which are demons that are drawn to the flaws of humans, like pride. The game itself started off a bit slow, but over time it began to ramp up my interest as I learned more about the world of the early 1900s Warsaw. As Viktor Shultsky, you go around investigating problems through the power of your supernatural senses, gathering story-related items, and honing your craft as a Thaumaturge. From here, you can deal with problems, whether it be through direct conflict, persuading down people, or even blackmailing and manipulating people to get the results that you want. The game has a large emphasis on storytelling and branching choices as you experience the world of early 1900s Warsaw and deal with the past of Viktor Shultsky, which includes a fair amount of family drama. One example is early in Act 1, you're caught up in a potentially violent protest against the Tsar of Russia. The Tsar is currently visiting and there is a protest preventing you from getting to see your family, who you haven't seen in a very long time. From here, you can do multiple things. You can help the protesters duke it out with the Russian military, discover who's leading the protesters and convince them to go ahead and capture only the leader and a few others, or sell out another person entirely. These options actually do change how the rest of the story goes. Duking it out with the Russians leads to an all-out brawl where you eventually get arrested, and now you need your family to bail you out. Personally, I went with getting the lead protester arrested and those associated with them. This allowed me to leave in peace and be able to make it in time for an important family gathering. Choices like these and many others influence both the story, how you shape your character, and the way others perceive your character as well. I haven't seen the full extent of the consequences of these various choices, so I'm not sure how much it actually changes in later acts and any potential endings. Still, from what I've seen so far, I'm very interested to see how the story progresses. The combat part of the game is turn-based combat using yourself and your Salutors. Your Salutors all have their own skills that we can use alongside Viktor's skills as well. You unlock new skills, upgrades for your skills, and more as you level up, strengthen your powers, and unlock new Salutors throughout the story. With these skills, you're able to inflict debuffs like doing damage over time, to even outright preventing your enemies from taking actions. So you're rewarded for planning out combat and upgrading your skills. One of my favorite combos is making Viktor's quick attack have a 50% chance of interrupting an enemy's action. This basically allowed me to spam the attack over and over again and prevent an enemy from being able to have a single turn in combat. Upgrading your abilities also doesn't stop at just combat. As you investigate the world around you using the Thaumaturge's perception ability, you'll find objects of interest that sometimes require you to have enough strength in a certain part of your Thaumaturge disciplines. Because of this, I usually held onto a single skill point just in case I ever needed it to level up a certain part of the Thaumaturge tree. Though experience is pretty plentiful, so maybe I'm just overpsyching myself here, as you can simply level up pretty quickly by interacting with the various objects you find in the world. Graphically, the game is very hit or miss, though that's likely due to me reviewing an earlier version of the game. Some of the cutscenes and animations in the game look really good, and I absolutely love the designs of the various Salutors that you meet. Other times, the game looks like this.
Be a gentleman. Please kneel and tie my shoe.
It's a jarring contrast, but should be smoothed out over time as the developers continue to improve the game. Speaking of improvement, the game definitely needs some improvements on performance, as my FPS would bounce around a lot. I saw no options to actually cap my FPS through the game settings, but hopefully I just missed that option, or at least it'll be added when the game fully releases. The sound design of the game is also a bit hit or miss. The background noise and music so far has been absolutely wonderful. The voice acting, however, has quite a bit of contrasting quality. Sometimes it's fine and seems well enough, and other times it's definitely more awkward or seemingly rushed. The dialogue of the game also suffers from this inconsistency, as some dialogue with characters is quite fleshed out, and others feel like they just abruptly end without a proper conclusion. Overall, the Thaumaturge is rough around the edges, but you can tell a lot of heart and hard work has been put into the game. It's slow to start, but once you get past that, the game really starts to open up, and I begin to get more and more invested into the world and the story being presented. It's a solid game that I think is worth checking out if you're looking for a story-focused RPG with a preset character whose personality you can influence. The Thaumaturge makes good use of its setting both from the time period used and from the salutors and other parts of the esoteric here that call upon the different myths and legends of various cultures. The characters are interesting enough and the story is intriguing enough that for now at least I want to see where it goes. So yes, I definitely recommend the Thaumaturge, and I need to go brush up on my Polish pronunciations because I'm pretty sure I'm mispronouncing Thaumaturge. It just rolls off the tongue weirdly for me. Thank you to Fool's Theory for giving me the chance to review the game, and I hope you all enjoyed the video. Take care and have a good day.